96.5 FM. The program is Akwaibom of Our Dream. Again, my name is Julius Brenner. You can call me Julius Brenner, that's in social. Alright, I have in the studio a very consistent, regular analyst on this program, and then he's a fine gentleman. He's an elderly person that has refused to show that on the face, always looking very young, smart and handsome. Welcome to the program, Akbarawa Ofio Otu.
I don't want to marry another wife, so stop describing me in borrowed ropes, so that the women will be waiting for me as I get out of the studio.
You are seriously in trouble.
Thank you very much, Akwaibom. Welcome to this program. We appreciate everybody listening and invite your friends.
Alright, that has been Akbarawa. He's a retiree. Refused to get tired, and it's a one-time. Okay, let me not go into all of that because of time and the lack of it. Right now, if you want to be part of the program, you can dial 0803 085 7755 or 0809 066 6909. I take that again. 0803 085 7755 or 0809 066 0909. You can also reach us on WhatsApp just for the purpose of this program. 0703 529 7911. Again, 0703 529 7911. Alright, so last week we were talking about, of course, we are on a series, local government era of our dream. Now the ideal local government, that's what is about, and we're able to look at critically the area of education. But today we are going to look at what is going on, of course, in line with the forthcoming local government election. We're going to look at the roles of stakeholders, and if you like, those the common people on the street would call cabal when it has to do with installing people. Of course, we still will have election, but then their role have a great their activities and inactivities has a great role to play in emergence of any candidates and of course any elected official. So Akbarawa, you're not strange to this. It has been your domain all along, and of course you have a chunk of experience even as an administrator on that. What do we expect in this forthcoming local government election in Akwaibom State generally? Are we going to see handpicked as people from a particular political party? People are saying they have voiced this on us. Meanwhile, if you check, it's just one political party. Are we saying that Akwaibom, in stricto sensu, is a one-party state?
No. It's not a one-party state.
Okay. So why are we having the issue of stakeholders, people at the grassroots complaining that they are pushing candidates on them and all of that? So, okay, let me start by asking, what do you think about the role of these stakeholders in all of this?
Yeah, it had always been there and it will ever be there. With all matters of sincerity or purpose, the stakeholders, they hold the stake of the party, and very seriously too.
The party, not the local government.
The party
okay.
Produces who will come to the local government.
Okay.
Good. So my take is that what you are seeing or hearing now is always a hue cry. It had always been like that. If it favors me, I will not complain.
But it seems the volume is louder this time, considering the fact that we are
No, sir. I will disagree. It had always been as loud as this. Sometimes had even been louder in times past than now.
How that
freedom. The rain that falls today, that's too much. Everywhere is flooded.
Okay.
When the rain comes next week, say that one is too much. So this is exactly what is happening. We have been in the football in the field, so we know it.
Okay.
In fact, we have not started hearing the complaints.
Yes, that's what I wanted to even say. That
Yes.
we have. It's like
It's
we're
just
even starting.
2 days ago now, so we never start. So we don't need to complain about the number, the quantum of persons who complain. The volume of complaints is going to increase by the day. So if it favors you, you will not complain that you have been jettisoned, you have been played down, you have been abandoned. So I appreciate that it is the way it is. But I want the role of stakeholders is germane. There's nothing you can do about that. But I only, like we have said on this program severally, let us not, in the process of producing or compromising, bringing consensus or whatever method you bring out the candidate, at the end we bring out a stooge.
Okay, but that's the worry. That's the concern of the masses.
Yes.
Because we've had situations where they say, okay, this person is from so person, Adowo, Ite, or Woma, as the case may be.
Yes.
And then you find out that in 3 years, as the case may be 4 years or 2 years, and it's just they doing the bidding of the master. In quotes.
Yes.
So how do we balance all of this going forward?
We can balance all of this if the master, unquote, knows what the people want and sincerely would want to assist his candidate to do the bidding of what the people, his people or her people want.
Do you think, let me come in quickly there, do you think they do not know what the people want, knowing that most times they have interaction and information from the grassroots? Is it a question of knowing or a matter of deciding to do the right thing?
If you don't know what your problem is, you cannot solve it. That's why I started from that angle.
Okay.
Knowing is
germane.
Yeah. If you know, your thinking, your action, even your inaction will be in tandem with what your people want. And you may not know, you could think. I remember vividly when I was a director of budget, when we started, but anytime we start budgeting, our director would tell us, you have to interview the people, especially capital projects. What do the people want? You work towards to what the people want. Listen to them, carry them along, put on the projects. You cannot just assume from the comfort of your home that you want borehole. Already they may have 10 in their domain.
Okay.
What do they with borehole? You start digging borehole, they look at you as a very stupid person. So ask them.
Or maybe they have a nearby water supply.
Whatever. If they have alternative to borehole. See, but you wouldn't know until you ask them.
Okay.
You interact, you interface with them. So at the end, you will know what they want. In fact, that is exactly what the local government or local governance is all about. Knowing what the people want, going for what the people want, giving them what they want, satisfying their whims and caprices, you can go in peace. In fact, next, if you have 2 or 3 terms, they will be coming to invite you that it is time for you to come along, because your first term, so the next time they will, I'm sorry to say it.
No. We are talking about Akwaibom.
Yes.
So
Yes. So
it's good to
once in a while, let's go home. Let's see what the people really want.
But this is an ideal situation you're talking about.
Yes.
What ought to be. But from the look of things, that is not what it is. I'm bothered to ask.
I'm worried too.
Why do we have variants of complaints? In fact, you rightly say we haven't even started hearing the complaints. But why should it be so? If in ideal situation you ought to hearing here and then listening here and then get to know their challenges, or maybe who is the rightful person, and or which part or which axis should produce what and all of that. But we are having something different. So how do we go about all of this, marrying the ideal situation and what we have on ground?
Yeah, you may not have the ideal situation as you are thinking, but if you have a near ideal situation,
Okay.
we will be very comfortable. We said severally on this program that leadership recruitment should be taken very seriously, because if you have a good business to manage and you bring an incompetent hand, it will run that business aground.
Sure.
The same thing happens, especially now that the local government autonomy has come to stay. People should to the extent that we bring a selfless, committed, qualified person. If somebody is selfless, he doesn't look at himself first, because that is what has been the bane of the growth of the local government system over the first thing he looks. He has to build a house, marry the second or third contract. He wants to do it alone. His cronies will be. He will stay there one term. He will look for second term. He will take, if there is any alternative, he will all swallow that. At the end of the tenure, that tenure, maybe 6 years, as the case may be, will be wasted. So, my complaint is always to the stakeholders, the communities, and the party. Let them be open to the people, because you can force a cow
to the river.
Good. You cannot force it to drink.
Sure.
You cannot give. That person cannot give to me what he does not have.
Sure.
I have always quoted a Latin slang here that no man that could not have it. You cannot give to somebody what you don't have. If you bring a person, let the person let it be a person who has capacity to carry. There's a big load. Somebody will just wake up. So our local government system is one of the best. Very interesting.
Very interesting.
But very stressful.
That is where development should touch
yes,
people.
but very interesting. I remember sometimes in 1999 or 2000, some 23, 24 years ago, 25 years ago, I was in one local government. Somebody just wake up and come to the chairman of council and said, my wife quarreled with me because I voted you. AD. You understand? So give me money. Let me go and settle my wife. What is the correlation between a wife, husband, and local government administration? The man had to say, what? Akwarawa, there's nothing you can do. Let's find money, transport for this, and give him money to go home. You don't find that at the state. You cannot find that at the local government. It's very unique. It's very interesting.
Okay.
It's very inviting and welcoming. So let us not make local government system to repel people, to scare people. Let us open up the system and not hit it with the unnecessary policy that will make people to be scared of local government. Local government administration is very, very sweet, honestly. So stakeholders, the party, the community, even the candidates, aspirants. If you are not qualified, stop coming out.
What if someone brings you out?
That is it.
You
can be brought. There's something, a material I'm working on. It's called Beyond Congratulations.
Okay.
Beyond Congratulations.
Interesting.
Somebody brings you to the podium. Everybody claps for you. Every morning, congratulatory messages pouring in, flanking everywhere.
Beyond that, what next?
Beyond that, what next? Somebody comes to marry. After marriage, everybody goes home. It is you
and your wife.
You and your wife, you and your husband. Come on, beyond congratulations. So let's see, how are we going to cope?
I can't wait to see that.
Good. So let's be frank. If I know that I'm not qualified, let me even not come out, because you'll be so embarrassed in this system.
Or seek self-development.
Yes, seek self-development.
If possible. All right. That aside, let's look at the issue of competence. You really talked widely about that when it has to do with the candidates.
Yes.
Now let's also look at this across party lines.
Yes.
Because you may look at it, for instance, in Akwaibom, you say APC, for instance, is at the national, is the ruling party at the national.
Yes.
So now, if someone wants to maybe vie for governorship, will now say, after all, from the national is our party.
Yes.
And then stop doing the due diligence. And then maybe another party, maybe AD, is saying, because APC is at the national, I do not have what it takes, the chances
of success.
Preempting
of success.
Yes, the results, even before the game starts.
Yes.
Now, how do we go about all of this? So far we've only heard of PDP, crying out. People from PDP axis crying out that the party is doing this, the party is doing that. We haven't heard any other party. Is it that we do not have competent hands in all other parties to vie for this election, or is it a question of mistrust?
Thank you very much for this question. This question that really trips me, because the governor of Akwaibom State, His Excellency Pastor Omo Basi, is an inclusive governor. Okay. A governor with a difference. It's a long time we had a governor like this in Akwaibom State. Okay. He looks beyond party lines. He does not even value the PDP so much.
In quotes.
I'm being honest.
When you say value.
Yes.
Because that's a strong word.
That's a strong word. I mean what I say.
Okay.
He looks beyond party lines. He looks at people who have the creativity, the people who can bring something to the table, the people who can be vouched for, and at the end they also produce what they have been committed into. Now look at the issue of PDP crying loud. It's a wolf cry to me, because you have everything for Kamikwa, for Kamabia. So here get for Tua. I was expecting to hear AD, ADC, APC, and all the other parties, ABGA, and all that crying. They are all in Akwaibom.
Sure.
Good. So if they are given a level playing field, they have intelligent hands, they have intelligent brains, they have everything that can produce good chairmen and councillors. You understand? So we don't need to limit ourselves to PDP. And of course, there's a piece I wrote in a New Vision magazine sometimes last year. I won't fail to make reference, or is it this year, before the 1 year administration. Yes, I wrote it, 1 year administration. Pastor Omo Basi is a very, very envisioned person. He goes out. He's an outgoing person. He embraces person who have brain from outside, who can offer a lot from outside, not necessarily PDP. Okay. He's loyal to the party very well, but then he extends his hands of fellowship to others. So other parties should come up, prove your prowess, put your wit online. Let us see. Whoever proves what they call the superior argument, we see it. If in terms of qualification you have, no problem.
Okay, we've heard I want to be specific now, and specifically at Reform Oruko, where I'm going to come into that later on, but let me just chip this in, that a particular candidate, aspirant is for now has been anointed purportedly by the governor. That is the current commissioner for local transport, Honorable
No.
Yes, has been voiced on the people by the governor. That's what has been flying around. And we are looking at, you are saying that the governor is an encompassing person when it has to do with party lines. It doesn't just stop at PDP. Now, if this allegation is to be true, or is true, why not look at the other people at the other party? Let's assume what they are saying is correct. Why do we have to recycle, if you let me borrow that word, leadership, people that has been from the ages? Why do we have to have them around recycled when they are young people? Not necessarily must be from PDP. Borrowing your argument now.
Yeah, I will not speak loudly about that particular because I know Onoitomono.
Okay.
He was a commissioner. He had been a
He's
commissioner.
still a commissioner.
Good, over the years. I reserve my comment about that, because I know he's a very sound and intelligent person.
Okay, let's deviate from that and look at it from a wider perspective.
Yes.
Now we have even if it's not about someone voicing it out on you, maybe a governor or any stakeholder, why do we have people that has been in power recycled over and over, a one-time councillor, a one-time commissioner coming out, even if on your own? Does it mean, and then because of the money power, the financial capacity, we'll have to induce the people to accept it? Why do we have this the local government of our dream?
No. If to me, if it is the will of the people, you can't drive it away.
The people are crying.
I'm not aware. If they are crying, they have a lot of channels to make their grievances known.
Okay.
Good. That is one thing about democracy, which is very interesting. Honestly, the superimposition of candidates on the people is what causes most of the rivalry that we have in administration.
And underdevelopment at the long run.
And underdevelopment, because if you have a leadership without followership, then you are lost. If you are leading people and people are not following you, then it means
you're taking
there's no acceptability. Good. Then acceptability for 3 years, non-acceptability for another 3 years. That's about 6 years. Because as far as I'm concerned, now there won't be any alternative in terms of caretaker.
No.
Before the end of your tenure, if you cannot make it through 2 terms, the end of tenure, another person will come in. During that period, the people will suffer. Projects will not be there. Programs will not be instituted. You understand?
Yes.
Good. So we are appealing to the governor, His Excellency. We are appealing to party. We are appealing to stakeholders. We are appealing to everybody.
To the people.
To the people. Even the electorates. Because they may not, they may be helpless, as it were. They may be helpless at a point, but those who should give them that help and assistance should give them willingly, so that they will not be maligned, because they will be that kind of set aside.
Okay.
Good. You won't be carried along. If you are not carried along, why are you there? You understand? So if there are persons who have not been doing well, even no matter how well you have done, you've been in government for so long, step aside. Let others be groomed. By now you would have groomed others
in the process.
Yes, to
of
take
your
over
leadership.
from you. Yeah. But if everything I put it in my pocket, left, right, I put it in my pocket.
It's like a father that has never, or that hasn't done any plan for his student to take over
from him. Yeah.
He wouldn't be a good
father. Yes.
All right. So that has been the first slate of the program. His time check is 2:30. We want to take a very short break. When we are back, we're looking at the quality of candidates or aspirants, and in line with getting to see how these people will pass the hurdle and then bring to the table what they have. What I mean is, if at the end of the day you have a BSc and then you go to the council and maybe some other person comes with primary 6 and then perform more than you, where will you keep your face? So we take a very short break. When we are back, we do that. Stay tuned. capacity. These are few qualities that we look forward to seeing in every representative, even if you're the least local government. Of course, there's none. So the question will now be, Akwaibom,
Yes, sir.
how do we balance this? We've had people that, you know, they've been so experienced, so exposed, so educated, and yet they have very limited results when it has to do with leadership. And then you also have someone that barely have been in the corridors of power, just emerge. Before you know it, the name rings a bell because of the impact. What is happening and what's the way forward? How do we balance this?
You don't even need to balance.
Okay.
Honestly, that is a work that is on the shoulders of the party, stakeholders, and the community. By now, they would have known their right material that they want to represent them. Now, I want to tell the people, there is political awareness at this moment more than we had in 1999.
Sure.
Up to and including yesterday.
Even participation.
Beautiful.
Participation.
So people know what they want. The people know what they want, and they go for it. You can there's no way you can bring somebody to a table and the person is an inferior material. It's not merchantable. It's not going to sell. There's not sometime when I was a member of the Nigerian Institute of Marketing, there was a program they were doing. They said Chevrolet is a brand of a car. You understand? There's somewhere in the word Chevrolet means it won't go. So if you have that kind of brand that will not go, please don't present. Somebody can have a PhD but cannot run a local government. Yes, the local government does not need all your big degrees. We don't mean that we should have a face school, but at least if you have something that is as general and exposes you to the whims and caprices of the council administration, you can go ahead. Like what you are saying, somebody can have all the degrees in Nigeria for all I care, but you give him that
nothing to show.
You run the council aground, first tenure, in fact first year, you can't see the council. Weeds will be growing everywhere. The staff will be grumbling. All the political office holders will be disenchanted. The councillors will be looking for how to impeach the chairman. He will be running helter-skelter from pillar to post. But you can bring somebody who is modestly educated, modestly exposed, who has the wherewithal, the prowess to run council administration, because you must run it with the civil servants.
Okay.
They are the people who will show you the way. If you think you can do it all alone, bring all the loads of politicians to council now and throw away the council staff, you fail.
Now the more challenging situation is that as a local government or as a state, let me stay with as a people, so that I will not run into something I can't really,
some murky water.
Yes. If a people do not have a direction in this scenario, a vision, a well-defined vision. For instance, in America, there's a plan of action. You know, this program is about having a vision and a plan of action in creating all of that. You know, someone said that leadership is the capacity to translate vision into
action.
reality.
Yeah, to action.
Yes.
Yeah.
So a situation where maybe the predecessor came in, did not do so much as to leave a path, or maybe the people in the locality do not have a synergy to say, okay, in this local government, this is what we believe in. We believe in education, so let's project education and send our children to school. Or in this our time, let us look at job opportunity, like
job
creation, or
skill development.
Skill development. if someone comes in without knowing this part and then he's trying to do something different, would you say he's doing a disservice to the people or a
yes? Don't even add the second adding.
okay.
Yes, it's doing a disservice to the people. I crave the indulgence of every administrator who wants to look at it. Come to council. Please don't come to council to work alone. You cannot work alone.
It is not even possible.
It's not possible. Carry the people along. I remember one local government I work. I would not fail to fit the people with my wealth of experience. When I got there, they said they had urban boys where the council was situated. They used to cause trouble. I invited them. I invited the boys to my office as the head of local government. I talked to them. I sanitized their minds. You understand? I told them you cannot bring progress to a turmoil environment. So if you don't want me to stay here, I will go. I will work in another local government, but then it's not the best because every officer has a local government where he or she comes from.
Sure.
So for me to come and work here, it's not anything that we should brag about. Because if you say don't work here, I will go home. They saw it with me. They bought into my system and my belief. Honestly, you take care of them every month. You just switch.
But at least there was a dialogue with them.
That is why I am saying you must dialogue.
Okay.
The dialogue does not stop with the chairman alone.
Sure.
This dialogue goes to the councillors. It goes to the supervisors and special advisors. Even the like me, I wasn't any of that.
Okay.
I was a civil servant, but I know that if you carry the people along, you work on the same page, definitely you will achieve what you want.
The traditional rulers also.
Good.
Should
go to the
paramount
ruler. You go to the clan head if that's the closest person, or the village head of the environment, the youth leaders, the youth president, the chairman of the what do you call it? Who run the council, the village council. The chairman of village council. That's what they call it. You call all of them together, discuss with them. You understand? As you are coming in, we are bringing progress. We want development. We want everybody to grow. We want to at least whatever you are going to do to benefit the environment. There's no way. But if you just take them, you just bring your idea and put on them. Honestly, it will not work.
To receive input from them.
No. You must get input from them first.
All right.
Then carry them along.
Talking about input, I want to open the phone lines for our listeners to be part of the program. 0803-085-7755. This is Memories 96.5 FM, and the program is Akwaibom of Our Dream. So he can be part of the program. Just seek to expand the frontiers of development journalism, and of course to institute what we believe in, what we ought to do to make the local government even better than it is. So this program is not limited to any political party, and of course it's not a party thing. It's open to all, both people at the grassroots and people at the state level to participate. You can reach us by calling 0703-529-7911 to drop your message. But for the purpose of this program, we can hear from you on 0803-085-7755. We're waiting for your call as we proceed. All right, Akparawa.
Yes, sir.
The most important part of any leadership is to see positive changes around. You know, we have heard so much about the new status of local government, that is the autonomy and all of that, the kind of money that is coming in. Now, the infighting, the, if you like, quote unquote, greed that is so much envisaged. You know, you see someone that has been so big in quotes, wanting to be a counselor. Do you understand?
Don't drag me there. Don't drag me there.
Want to be a counselor simply because there's something that it.
Yes.
Why do we have all of this and then it does not correspond with the development we are having? Why do we have to wait for Governor Moino come to maybe Okobor and grade the road when we should have that done by the sitting council, or Governor Moino come to Urwan and tar this road, or Governor so depending on who is in power? Why don't we as a people, what we have at the local, we are so educated, we have all the resources, why don't we make the impact felt? Because leadership ought to be a product of development, or should result in development, not a product of development, should result in development. If I'm a leader, I should be able, one of the, what's his name, he said leadership is about someone that knows the way and lead others to that way, to that path. So why don't we have corresponding development with the resources we have in our domain? What is happening?
We have had a wrong notion about local government. Money, and more money. But yet,
it's more or less like a distribution center.
Yes, and like we were saying, we used to say water everywhere, yet no water to drink. But when you come to the local, some persons regret. I have seen chairmen who regret. They will tell me, my director of finance or head of service, this work is too much because of the stringencies of that office. People think you have all the money in the world. Yes, there is no money. As at that time, but now talk about now that money is going to come en bloc to council
directly.
Some Basanjo, I was quoting. He asked councillors then, said if you are asking for 4 years, if it takes you 2 years to run back, how many years would it take you to run naked in the market? So people look up to money. The delivery of service should be paramount in the minds, in the thinking, even in the mouth of any council administrator. Anybody who yearns to come to council should first prefer a solution to the council problems, because every council has a peculiar problem. The problem of Itulu government is not the same thing for the like the problems of Mbo or Kanafu or Rwanda or Bak or even Itamekbo. They all have their peculiar problems. So the people of Itamekbo should know who they bring out, who will be acquainted, well versed, acclimatized with the environment of Itamekbo, who will know their peculiar problems, all the intricacies. Not the person they would like, they could. You just bring somebody from Port Harcourt or from somebody from Lagos who knows little to
but in this case,
next to nothing about the local administration of the people. So if you ask him who is your village head, you may not know. Who is the paramount ruler of your local government? He will smile like a carbon biscuit person. So obviously, we should be very, very careful. We have talked about leadership recruitment. We are talking tough about it. We are very serious about it because it matters. Leadership matters, sir.
Of course.
Leadership matters. If it doesn't matter, then go home and sleep.
The wings of development.
Beautiful. They fly. If you are not prepared to lay down all your pride, all your ego, you're looking at the people they are in the your people, the local domain as downtrodden. No, it shouldn't be like that.
Okay, let's look at the activities we've been talking about, the aspirants and stakeholders. Let's look at people that really matter in this, the electorate. Now, you go to some of these local places and the distance between the house and where these hours, 3-5 hours, and then here comes election day and they know they ought to be in the farm, but they stay back and decide to vote for whatever reason. Maybe sometimes they vote someone that someone told them, look, vote this one. Do you think this is the ideal situation that we are looking at in the process of picking the right people to
No.
What is their own
I keep
part
talking
in all of
about
this?
against that idea. Don't compel anybody to vote anybody. Let that person, that electorate, know about this person and determine within himself, within herself, that this is a good material that we want.
But how can we achieve this when so far they have already weaponized poverty? So if someone just, of course, nobody will tell you to vote with empty mouth. We just take sometimes 500 naira, 1,000 naira, and then for that woman in the village is looking at 1 cup of salt, and then it just did the biddings of whoever gets him that. So how do we get our people enlightened to know that even if my vote does not count, this is the person my conscience say I should vote? How do we get
this
them
is
to do all of this?
One of the ways, one of the methods, one of the modus operandi is what we are doing now.
Okay.
This is enlightenment. We are talking to the people. We are engaging the people. We are letting them know their rights. People are listening to this program, sir.
Sure.
Whether you like it or not, people are listening to us. There are people who wait for us every Thursday from 2 to 3 on 96.5 FM Memories. They want to listen to us. You hear them call, means they are following us. One of the ways to sanitize the people, to energize the people, to bring them up to speed with what is happening in the society and why they should do what and when they should do what, is what we are doing now.
No.
There's nothing, we cannot come to your house to come and tell you, may not know you. But when you listen to your radio, you may not have a television set, but you can have a radio set. You listen to us. Sir, as you are going to vote your conscience.
Okay.
500 naira cannot last you for 3 years.
Even 5,000.
Even 10,000.
Even 10,000.
So even 100,000 cannot last you for 3 years.
Even a month.
Good. So by the time you produce somebody who takes a winner takes all, it swallows everything and absconds to you, because if all of them want to leave you, nothing that we want to bring up to the governor is that every local government administrator should live in his or
and he's been preaching that since he came in.
Yes. We want to see it though.
In reality.
Election is almost here. Let him continue to drum it into their head, into their brain, that as you finish, if you are living in Lagos, and you're going to work in Okarafu, you should come and live in Okarafu. Don't come and live in Uyo. Sir, to even fly from Uyo to Okarafu, one much
is
the quantity of fuel,
is work on
the risk you are even involving your life.
That is even why they do not get to the office regularly.
Beautiful. You go there once in a year, and we mean once in a week or twice in a month, and you expect that your staff will be coming to work, and you are complaining that you don't even know some of your staff. I used to tell them when I was in service, I come to work every day and on time, and I stay till late, and I know my staff by name. In fact, over 90% of my staff, that's about 400 staff, 400 and something staff, I know about 400 by name and face.
Wow.
Yes, because I'm there with you. I hear your problem, I listen to your cries, I try to provide solution to most of your problems. Why wouldn't I know you? So the same thing, the councillor should live in his domain, the chairman should live in his domain, the vice chairman should do, the secretary should do, all the supervisors and special advisors, all of them should do in that environment.
Okay.
In fact, by the time all of them permeate into that environment, that environment is already developed.
Yeah.
Because whatever happens in the center, they bring it home. Yes.
Okay, let's we're still talking about the activities of the electorate. And you say that most times they need to be educated,
Yes.
and one of the ways is what we are doing.
Yes, sir.
So let's also look at the activities or the role of teachers, traditional rulers that are there. When I mean teachers, that most time when we are growing up, we those teachers that stayed at the village, or that some of our people that were there, we held them in high esteem even till now.
Yes.
So what are their roles in educating people on the need for them to be independent on choice, rather than allowing people to influence them? Do you think they can do enough, or they can do something about it?
They can. Even churches are involved.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's another.
Yes, that's another structure. Yes, we look at it from that
that
perspective.
can be used.
Over with politics is a dirty game. Don't speak that grammar.
What makes it dirty?
What makes it dirty? Now, if you allow all the bad people to come
Then
and
you
play
should
the
not
politics,
complain.
don't complain. When they take your money away and run you aground, you make sure they go and jail you. Don't complain, because you allow them to have a field day. No, it should be like that. Let us who are committed, who know what the people want, let us come all out and bring our wealth of experience to play on display, and see whether the people will accept you. And as they accept you, you play the game according to rules. In fact, at the end, everybody will be applauding you. Instead of you staying away. I know I won't go. I can bomb more.
You don't say to
So the church, the traditional rulers, everybody has a role to play. As you are going out now, everybody is a stakeholder in the game, from the ward, from the unit to the ward to the state. I mean, local government to state. Because that's the crescendo.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you climb to the pinnacle. So we should not look at the local government election as I'm bomb more. I don't bomb for.
All right. So we've been talking, and we've come to a point where we have to wrap up the program, and we have established here that if you must run for any political office at the local, you must be prepared, have a vision, and be ready to work, reside there, and of course the electorate do your bid. So Akwaibom,
Yes, sir.
in wrapping up, what is your final word for today? We are going to look at three holders, the electorate, and the candidates, aspirants.
The candidates, one, know that you are qualified. I'm not talking about university degree.
Yeah.
Know everything about the local government. At least you may not know everything. Let me put mildly.
Majority.
Yes. Know major about your own local government.
Yes.
Because you are not coming from Mbo to come and rule me in
Uran,
or Uran to come and go to Oro Anam. But Oro Nam should have a peculiar terrain. Know that terrain. What would your people be prepared to sacrifice for them? The party should be able to be honest with them, produce a generally acceptable aspirant who will metamorphose into candidate.
yes.
So that at the end, the people also have, so the stakeholders, please be lenient with your people. Listen to them, do their bid and bidding, so that at the end, everybody will work in tandem with each other, and so that we make progress as we mix water with oil.
All right, thank you so much, Akwaibom Ofiomotu, for always being around. That has been the size of the package for today. We'll see you next week, Thursday, and hopefully we're going to have our regular host, Dr. Chris, here with us. My name still remains Julius Ebrene.